Today is going to be an exciting one, and I hope that we can all engage because I really like it when the classes are a bit interactive so that we can all learn together. So I'm going to share my screen now, and I'm going to be asking a few questions. Just give me a few minutes. So I think you've seen my face, so I'm going to turn off my video now because the network is not really great, so that we can have a seamless session. So, okay, so like Israel said, we're going to be talking about creating an effective go-to-market strategy. And it's a very, very key aspect of a product marketing manager's role, because basically that is your core focus. Because like what Molara said yesterday and what during our conversation, basically a product marketer, just like a product manager who is responsible for the success and the failure of a particular product, a product manager, the product marketer is also responsible for that as well, because when the product managers and every other person are done developing the product, then it's now the responsibility of the product marketer to now ensure that the product actually gets to the right set of people, and they actually enjoy. Not just that it gets to them, right? So it doesn't just end there. They have to also ensure that these people understand the product. They understand what the product is and what it does for them. And then not just that, also ensure that these people know how to use the product. Because a different thing for you to see an ad everywhere, or you see a billboard, or you see a flyer somewhere, and not knowing what to do about it, right? I don't know where to put it, what it's meant for, and also the responsibility of product manager. It's a little bit more, it's a little comprehensive, right? So, and I don't think that we can cover all of it in the class, but definitely I think that's one of the reasons there is a boot camp that allows you to gain hands-on experience and knowledge, where you'll be able to even put to practice and work on real life projects. So, like I said, I'm super excited because product marketing is a very fulfilling role, because I personally, having to launch a couple of products and across different sectors, having to see the smile in the face of these founders and the face of also the consumers when they get to meet with, when they get connected to a particular product, and then when the founders, have this joy and this feeling of satisfaction after I'm done with the product launch, or I'm done with all of the things that I needed to do, and they're smiling. So it gives me a lot of joy and gladness. So product marketing is a very, very interesting role. So if you're here and you're interested in product marketing, you're on the right track. Welcome. Welcome. So I'm going to get on with it. So like I said, today's going to be a bit more interactive. It's going to be different. We're going to be having conversations, and I'm going to be sharing a lot of case studies so that we can understand it clearly, because every single thing that you've seen in the tech world and in other countries and in other platforms, be it in the fintech or ed tech or health tech, we've all come in contact with go-to-market strategies and execution of go-to-market strategies, but some of us might not have realized that, okay, this is what these people are trying to do. So that's why I'm going to be using a lot of case studies to ensure that we remember these things and understand that when you see it next time, now this is what these people are trying to do, right? So basically, a go-to-market, like I mentioned before, a go-to-market is basically like a comprehensive plan. You're basically drawing up the plan for a particular product, how it gets to the market, when it gets to the market, who are you trying to get the products to meet, and then you're also looking at your competitors and looking at how you can ensure that your particular product, remains in the market. So you don't because there are different stages to product, right? So when you get to the entry part, but when you get to the entry and then you get to the maturity stage, you get to the growth stage, but your product marketers, you're responsible for not ensuring that the product doesn't get to a decline stage, right? Because when you get to a decline stage, it means that the users are no longer using the product. There is a huge churn rate. There is a low retention rate. People are uninstalling your applications. People are no longer using your product. For example, if you have an e-commerce platform, people are no longer purchasing your product and all of that. So there are a lot of strategies to adopt to actually when you get to decline stage, but we're not talking about that stage right here. So basically, a product marketer is responsible for that, ensuring that the product gets to the market and stays in the market. So, and that is what your go-to-market strategy helps you do. It helps you to come up with the perfect plan on how to enter the market, And there are a lot of things that just like the name says, go to, right? So we are going to somewhere. So basically, we are coming up with the perfect plan to get to the market. How can you reach these people and achieve the most achievable results and achieve maximum impact? How can you get there? How can you speak to these people to get them to use your product when they see them? How can you get people to like your product? When do you want to get to there? When do you want to get there? Who do you want to even sell it to? And where do you want to even place the product in? So there are a lot. That is basically what the go-to-market strategy is. It's just, that's basically the simple term to understand it. So I'm going to use an example of Airbnb. I don't know if anyone knows the story of Airbnb. If you know the story of Airbnb, of how it started, does anyone knows the story of Airbnb? Have you used an Airbnb before? Let me see your emoji if you've used an Airbnb before. Okay. Okay. Does anybody know the story? Have you used an Airbnb? I didn't see any hand. No one has used Airbnb. Interesting. Interesting. So basically, let me just explain what an Airbnb is. So Airbnb is basically like what you call like a home away from home, right? So more like, it's not like an hotel. It's similar to hotels, but more like a shortlet, right? I don't know if you know shortlets, where you have those accommodations, short stay accommodation, where you can go, you can stay and have opportunity to prepare your meals, have that luxury, prepare your meals and stay without having to connect to any other person, right? So basically that's exclusive comfort, home away from home experience. That's basically what an Airbnb does. And I think that's basically what introduced a lot of the shortlet industry as well. So basically, the Airbnb story is something that is really striking, and I believe it will help us get a little bit of understanding of what a go-to-market strategy is. So just like everyone has, because I've been in all the classes for product design and product management, and everyone keeps saying that a product is meant to solve. They say the Israel said that a UI UX is a product design, right? Yeah, I think a design is meant to solve a problem, right? And then Olushola Olawale Omotosho also said that your product manager, you are to solve a problem as well, solve the problem of the users. So same thing for a product marketer as well, and even for a product generally, it is meant to solve a problem. And as a product marketer who is developing a go-to-market strategy, you need to understand the problem you're trying to solve and look at what's the solution that the product is offering. That is how you're able to even craft the good go-to-market strategy. So the Airbnb story started, in 2007, where two unemployed art school students living together in a 3-bedroom apartment in San Francisco. But they were cash strapped. They were needed money. Their landlord was already pestering them for their rent. Their rent was due. They didn't have money to pay for their rent, but they were unemployed and they were students. So how can they afford to pay for their school fees? So luckily, there was an event, a conference that was being held within that area. And when that conference is being held, there's always a shortage of hotels, right? Because when you're having a lot of conference, a very big conference, and then you're having a lot of people coming there, a lot of international people, like different people from different areas of the world, and they're looking for accommodation. So there's the scarcity of hotel hospitality, right? Hotel for the people to stay. And also people, there's the difference between when you're leaving your home and then you're moving to an hotel, you just have there's this feeling. So they saw that problem, and then they had a problem, but they also saw a need as well. So they decided that, okay, we're going to start a business by renting out air mattress. So the air mattress during the conference. So the air mattress was how Airbnb started. So it started with that idea of renting out air mattresses in their apartments So, and that means that a lot of people, a couple of, let's say 4, 5, or 6 people, or 10 people, were able to stay within in their 3-bedroom apartments. And then that's how Airbnb grew into becoming a business, $1 billion business right now. That they now, after the air mattresses, they started renting out the full apartment, just one room, and then offering people breakfast in bed, and all. So B&B is breakfast, bed and breakfast. So started offering all of those things. So that was how Airbnb started, right? And their strategic idea, the problem that they saw that helped them, the problem, they saw a problem, they had a problem as well. So that it was because they were able to solve that problem. That was how they were able to achieve the success that they got. So their success basically was largely attributed to their innovative and effective strategy, basically leveraging the events that was existing. So there's all, sometimes in GTM, in product, there is a path for timing. You have to understand, is this the right time to enter the market or not? So they understood the power of timing. They understood that there's a conference, there's a problem, then they solved it, and then that's how they entered the market. And then Airbnb went up and grew to become a global industry. So now there is Slack. I know you're all familiar with Slack. So that one is very, very popular one that I know a lot of us might be using and all. So when it comes to Slack, there is an issue with managing communications in your organization, where there's a lot of back. I've worked in an organization where they didn't know anything about Slack or any other corporate communications structure, but so everybody was just sending emails back and forth, sending emails even to the littlest of information. We have to send emails back and forth. So that email overload was something that Slack wanted to solve, right? So where there is seamless communications between employees and the managers, supervisors, companies and their clients. So reducing that email overload, because sometimes it can be tiresome having to look at your email every day. Like you wake up, there are a lot of emails that are on my inbox. I think I have a lot of but even my WhatsApp too. So I just have to take my time to like open it. So there's a lot of things like that that these are things that Slack was trying to avoid. Yeah, there were other communications platform, but it's different from when you have an official communications platform for your organization. For example, now if my organization is using Slack and I have WhatsApp, so when a message comes on a Slack channel, you already know that this is a conversation, a company-wide conversation. So you know that you want to treat that prioritize that. But when a message comes on your WhatsApp, okay, maybe it's just your friend and all of this during work hours and all. So just there are communications systems, communications channels that I do not open or prioritize during work hours, right? And there are some that the moment I see notifications, I just open it up and all that. So those are kind of the things that Slack was trying to solve. And they realized that these were problems that a lot of businesses were facing, a lot of founders and employees, they were going through that and they wanted to solve that issue. So they came up with that beautiful idea, and then Slack grew, and now it's not a multi-billion business, right? So, but how did they enter the markets? How did they enter the market? There's a lot of strategies that you can employ when it comes to go-to-market strategy. Airbnb leveraged timing, leveraged an events. They started with air mattress, and then they grew into becoming a remarkable full apartments and apartment rental and all of those. And then Slack leveraged look at the current needs of the people as well. And then Slack leveraged a lot of multi-channel means of marketing when it comes to their GTM. We're going to be talking about that as well as we move forward. So there's a lot of approach when it comes to GTM. There's even the one for partnerships, one for other strategies that you can adopt for your GTM. So basically, like I said before, like every successful go-to-market strategy is firmly grounded in the deep understanding of the problem that you want to that the product or services aims to solve. So if you do not have, as a product marketer, if you do not have a clear understanding of what the product is trying to solve, your go-to-market strategy would not be effective. It will it's more like pouring water in a basket, right? You've forgotten what the use of the basket is for and what it was created for, and then you start putting water in it. So basically you're just putting water, but if you are taking time to research on why the basket was created, who it was meant for, you would know not to put water in it, right? So that is what a product marketer should think. You must understand the problem that your products that your developers have developed before you can create a go-to-market strategy. Because if you do not understand it, have a clear understanding of what the product is, who the target markets are, who the target audience is, you would find it your go-to-market strategy would not be as robust and as effective as it should be, right? And you might end up, wasting a lot of money, and then losing out in potential um, um, losing out in getting your perfect audience. So I hope you're following. If you're following, please let me know and give an emoji, a thumb up sign, or leave a comment so I can be sure that we are all following. Okay, thank you. Thank you. So, like I mentioned before, Slack. So, talking about Slack GTM strategy. So, the kind of strategy that Slack, I mentioned, they adopted a multi-channel approach. Airbnb leveraged the events that was happening. That was very, very strategic and was very, very cost effective for them because, well, they didn't have money, right? They were unemployed, they were high school students, and their rent was due. So they needed money. So there was no way they could afford any marketing strategy or any elaborate marketing or sales strategy. So they leveraged the event that was happening. So that was the perfect time for them. If they had launched, let's say, before the event, maybe it wouldn't have been as effective as it was, right? Or probably launched after the event, probably wouldn't have been effective. That's why I'm talking about the power of timing. There is a current economic. That's like sometimes you see a lot of products that you see out there that just comes up out of the blue and it just moves because they looked at the current economic situation. How can technology or what can we do to solve this particular problem? And then they just leverage that. The product marketer as well also leverages looks at the current emotional state of people. How are people thinking right now? How are they feeling? Then they craft an appealing strategy. You could cut across marketing, cut across sales, cut across content marketing, cut across PR, and then that is how you're able to see some campaigns. You see some ads from Airtel, from Apple, from Microsoft, and some other amazing brands, and the ad will so much relate. You will so much relate with it. It will appeal to you because you are the target audience. They've researched you and done a lot of iterations and looked at how they can appeal to your current state of mind based on what the economy is currently saying, based on what the industry is saying. So that is one of the ways you can also think through your strategy as a product marketer. So the Slack channel, they leverage multi-channel approach, right, to reach their target audience. They leverage digital marketing, content marketing, partnerships, word of mouth, referrals, and free. They are still doing freemium, right? They still allow you to use their platforms for free, and then they sell the product as you grow, as you go. As I tell you, okay, you can use this particular features for free, and then you can use this for free. You have to pay to get this. So some platforms often do the freemium strategy approach. So Slack leveraged everything. They leveraged everything to ensure that, because there was a lot of platforms. There was WhatsApp. There were a lot of other communication. So how can you get people to just leave their traditional? If, for example, traditional people that they still prefer email. I know people who still prefer emails to date. I know organizations who still prefer emails. They would rather you send them email than send them any messages on any platform. They will say they would always check their email. I know my sister would barely check some of our communications channel during work hours, but emails she would check, and some other communication would check. So but how can they get? So they did a lot of other strategies. They did hosted events. They invested in a lot of what's it called, tutorials and trainings, and also collaboration. So when it comes to this community, when it comes to communications platform, sometimes you have to look at who are the people that I'm trying to get, and how can I easily reach to them. Who are the people that, for example, now if you're, for example, now you're selling baby dress, right? Baby shoes, yeah, fashion, baby fashion, you're in the baby fashion industry, right? And for babies, and you would not be marketing to children, right? To the babies, or right? You would target the parents. So because the parents, though the product is for the babies, but the decision makers, people that would influence actions for be taken at the parent. So that is one of the things. Like I said, a lot of ways you can think through your strategy. So Slack also thinks through, look at that as well. So they engaged communities as well. So communities where founders are, communities where business owners are, communities where individuals are, people that can easily influence their products, influence clients acquisition for them. So they did, like I said, they did a robust strategy when it comes to their GTM. So now when it comes to you developing your own GTM, how do you develop your GTM? So I've been talking about it, but this is just basically 6 things that you need to consider when you're developing a GTM strategy, go-to-market strategy. One, you have to understand who your target audience are. And then you need to, like I said before, you need to understand what the problem is, what the product. You need to really know the product. I know a lot of product marketers who are marketing things that they don't even know, that when they are being asked questions or quizzed, they'll tell you, oh, let me ask the developer, or let me go and ask the developer, or let me go and ask the salesperson, or let me contact the product marketer. You should understand the product like the back of your hands. You understand the product or services that you are offering, that you're trying to sell. And then you have to look at the why. Why should people use the products that you have? First, you know who the product is for, what the product is, what exactly are you trying to sell, and then why should they use the products that you want to sell to them? Why do they need it? Why? So that is what will help you craft the value proposition, the unique value proposition, your brand statement, so that people are able to that's how you're able to know how to craft the right messaging for the products that you're trying to sell to people. And then this number 4, I know you've seen target audience and you see target market. Are they not the same? Yes, they are similar, but they are not the same thing. Target audience and target market are not the same thing. The target market is like a group of people. For example, let me use an example. For example, now let me say a church, a religious for example, let me use a physical Bible. So I want to sell a Bible, a physical Bible, a hardcover Bible. I want to sell it. And generally, my target audience would be, let's say, Christians. My target market would be Christians. And where do I find them? Most likely find them in church or religious events and all of those things. So that is my target audience, Christians. Target market are Christians. So, but in that Christianity, space, there are people who doesn't like physical Bible. They would rather pick up their phone or their iPad and use e-Bible or audio Bibles. So those people, they might fall into the category of my target markets, but they are not my target audience, my major target audience. My target audience would now be those people that prefer physical Bible. And who are those people? Those people could be the pastors, because pastors would want, like some pastors would want to have their Bibles on their pulpit, and then some of the leaders in the church. And let's say the elderly, people from 40 and 40 and above, or 50 and above, or 30 something and above, people that still prefer to hold their Bible in their hands to show that they are Christians and no. So so that is how your target market is the broader. Let's say, for example, the industry, the whole of Nigeria. You're creating a product for Nigerians. who in Nigeria? Females in Nigeria. But in that female in Nigeria, there is still a subset of individual that specifically needs your product. Because in marketing, you have to understand that marketing, you cannot market to everybody. No, yeah, you can market to everybody, but your product in itself is not for everybody. So it is best that as a marketer, that you craft your strategy around the focus, the subset, that specific people that your product is meant for. If I want to market a product now, let's say, for example, I want to run an ad, I would not just be targeting everybody, Christians. I would break it down based on their behaviors, based on the way they think, their age group, and all, and probably some titles that they own have in a church. So I'm not just targeting the whole of Nigerian, the whole of Nigeria, and the whole of female gender. I would also streamline my targeting to ensure that it gets to the right set of people. Let's say, for example, there's an app called Flow that helps for women tracking their menstrual cycle. So let's say, for example, in Nigeria now, I'm pretty good to market for Nigerian. There is Nigeria and there's a lot of females, but not every female in Nigeria are ovulating or seeing their period or have their menses, right? There are people who are now attained menopause, and there are people who have not even started seeing their period yet. And there are people who are even pregnant. So while they're pregnant, they're not even seeing their period yet. So that means that those are not my target audience, but the target market is Nigeria and female. But those are not my target audience. My target audience are now females that are still ovulating, that are still seeing their periods, that are within certain age, let's say 18 to 40, that are still seeing their period, 40, 45. I think the median age, average age for starting menopause is about 50, 45, 50 and above. So, but let's say age from 18 to, let's say, 45 years of age, that seeing that. And then I will still now streamline it further to ensure that I'm not targeting pregnant women or targeting those that are not even seeing their menses at all. So I'm just trying to say to you, so you can understand the difference between target markets and target audience. So these are two different things. So please don't mix that up next time or in any scenario. So, and then when you've identified who your target, where your target market is, and then you can now look at how you want to enter the market. How do you want to convince these people? How do you want to preach the gospel of your product? As you're looking at the marketing plan, the sales plan. The marketing plan is what Slack did. They did different events. They did collaborations that were part of the sales plan. They did some freemium, which was part of the sales plan and all. So that is how you now examine how you want to enter the market, how you want to get these people to see your product, how you want to connect what you're selling to who you want to use it, right? And then there is timing. In all of these, you have to look at when do you want to now get to the market? When do you want to go to the market? Because that is when execution comes in. There's always an implementation plan. There's a difference between you crafting a beautiful product at go-to-market strategy, but we don't have an implementation plan on when you would do this, when this would go out, when this will be released, what and how it will go out. So you need your go-to-market marketing strategy must have a timing of when you want to go to the market, when you want to execute your plans. For example, if part of your go-to-market strategy is event marketing, it also includes let's say email marketing. You also want to look at when do you want to do all of these things? When do you want to start your event marketing? When do you want to start, if you want to do social media buzz and put out countdowns? Looking at when do you want to do those countdowns? When do you want to start a social media buzz? When do you want to do your media buzz? When do you want to do your PR? When do you want to start your partnerships? When do you want to start your product demos and start pushing out, videos to market your product? So there is always timing. You must always put your time to your strategy. So once you have all of these things sorted out, you're good to go. So this is basically the structure of what a GTM should look like? What should be in your GTM strategy? What should it be in what should be in your presentation? If you're presenting to the founders, the stakeholders, these are the things that should be there. You have to look into that side is basically how the structure is. Someone's mic is not muted and is making sound. So okay, thank you. So now, what are the key components of a GTM? So I've looked at the structure, the skeletal thing, the skeletal of a GTM. What should be in your GTM? So, but how can you now get all of these things? How can you get them? Because I know it's saying it is kind of sweet, right? But how can you get these things to how can you get these things, right? Because it's not just something you can just, sit down and just start writing. Sometimes it requires to do a couple of research to that. So what are the key components of it? So market analysis. And that is where you are research and analyzing your target market. And that is where there's also the target audience identification. And that is where you are defining your specific audience, right? Market analysis is helping you to identify the where. The market, target market, who are the set of people that needs this product? Where are they? Are they in Nigeria? Are they in UK? Are they people? Are they nursing mothers? Are they the male gender and all of them? Where are they? Where can I usually find them? Will I find them in, let's say, in a travel and tour in UK, in Paris, or probably a travel and tour agency site, or any other? So basically the where. But the target audience identification, able to define it, you streamline it to a subset of people that needs your product. So you're defining them based on their demographics, right? Define them based on the things that they like, their preference. Where do they like? Are they on social media? Are they on Instagram? Because even the channels that you use to market your product is still also part of a GTM, because you have to damn it, because not everybody is on LinkedIn. There are some certain categories of people that you might not find you might not get on Instagram. So let's take, for example, I want to my target market for my product are key decision makers, right? Let's say for example, people that are in the category of Tony Lumelu, Good Luck, Billy Jonathan, and all of those people. Would I just encounter them on Instagram? I may not, because mostly they might have Instagram pages, right? But their Instagram pages are most likely not managed by them. They're most likely managed by their brand strategist, their brand manager, or their executive assistant, or their content creator. So that means that if I'm targeting those elite and high profile and high network individuals, and I'm pushing my ads and I'm sending it down to Instagram, and no, they might not see it, because that is not where they are. You most likely find these people at elite events, right? That means you want to infuse a little bit of offline marketing in your go-to-market strategy. So you're able to meet these people. Are you able to collaborate with them and have conversations with them? And because of their advanced experience and advanced learnings, they might not trust what they find on Instagram or on social media platforms, right? Their shopping is always probably they travel out of the country and all of those things. They're probably a referral from somebody that they know told them about someone. So you have to understand your target audience, understand where you would find them, their pain points. How do they behave? What do they like? What do they not like? And then you're able to craft, because that's basically what affects your overall strategy. If you get it wrong from your market analysis and your target audience identification, you would most likely get every other thing wrong. Because the first and most important thing is to understand the product, understand the market, and understand who you are trying to sell to. If you are able to understand those people, understand those three things, the what, the who, and the where, if you're able to understand it, every other how or any other strategy would come seamless. So, and then number 3 is you're trying to craft the value proposition. You have to understand the message. How do you want to communicate to these people? How would you communicate the benefits, the advantage of the products to them? Because you have to understand how they like to speak. There are some slangs that, for example, let me use the high network individuals. If I'm saying, I will not be using some slangs, right? It's more like if you're having a public speaking at an elite event compared to when you're having a public speaking at, let's say, for students, the way you would speak and the way you would dress and your carriage will be different because you have to speak their language. You have to act like them and dress like them. So you have to, that is what you have to understand. And like I said, once you understand your audience, understand your market really well, every other thing would come so easy for you. Every other thing would come so easy. And then the channel strategy, you have to determine what channel, where can you find? I already mentioned it for you for marketing. For example, marketing to an iNetwork individual. You might not find them on it. They might, most of them have Instagram profile and have Facebook profiles, but there is a tendency that they're not the one managing the social media platforms. I have an agency, so I know that we manage pages for some, right? So it's not the, so most of people, all the things that you see to the middle, I know to the middle is his page is very, very active, a lot of videos and a lot of activities on his page. But trust me, someone that is holding that mobile phone, taking the video, telling him what to do, and then posting it on his page. He doesn't have that. Someone that has to be in meetings 6 a.m. to 6 a.m. or 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. or 12 midnight, only have probably a few hours of sleep. What time would they have to start pressing their phone, be posting and be engaging with your comments on social media? They are not content creators. They're not looking to make money off of social media. They already have the money. So it's someone who is actually helping them build their brand. It's basically because of brand identity and branding. Someone, they have to be there so people can see them. They have to adjust to the current trend, technological advancements, right? So that's exactly why they are there. So you have to understand where you can find them. There are some products that you just have your social media just because you want people to see you. But your core sales plan, your core channel might not be any online media platforms. Might not be. It might be core majorly for offline. So like I said, once you understand your what, who, and where, you are good to go. And then that's when you're developing your marketing and your sales plan. We already talked about it yesterday that product marketing, you are in the middle of everybody working with the driving marketing, driving, sales enablement, also working alongside the product development team, providing them feedbacks. You are basically the spokesperson for also the customers as well. So marketing, you are also working on a sales plan, because if people are just coming into your product but nobody is using it, because so and now you would not, your product does not hasn't succeeded yet, right? So you market the product, you create visibility for the product, you increase the reach, you give that particular product visibility, you allow a lot of people to see it, right? But definitely when they get into the application, you need to now strategize on how you can get them to use the product and pay for your service. For example, let me go back to Slack. Slack launched with freemium. And then when you use Slack, and then you see them that there's some things that you cannot do. Or they'll tell you that after 90 days or after 30 days, your history from free app for free Slack will be deleted. And you as an organization, you rely on you have a lot of conversations, and you want that history to be there so that you can always research and check and go back. That is you would want to buy it. You would want to pay for it because they've given you something for free. And then when you get that free thing, and now you need more, you want to buy for it, right? For example, now, this particular platform that we are using, Google Meet, there is a free one. I know a lot of you use free Google Meet, and you even join with free Google Meet because you have Gmail and all. But the reason we are able to stream to YouTube or even record this session so that you can go back to watch the session is because we paid for it, we subscribed. And why did we subscribe? Because there is a need. We could have kept on using the free ones because it's free. But the thing that you would not be able to get a recap of the session and go back to rewatch it later on. So that is how some of your sales plan can be when it comes to GTM as well. You could launch with, let's say, a subsidized price. For example, it may not be freemium, maybe like you cannot do free services. You can go launch with a subsidized price, discounts. Some people do discounts, some people do referrals and all of those things. They give you code, coupons and all of those. And then you get probably it's price large. Instead of 50,000 naira, you pay 10,000 naira. And then so all of a sudden, after a few months, you just see back to original price of 50,000 naira. So that is their entry strategy. So as a product marketer, you are also crafting and working alongside every single member of the team, the stakeholders, the tech sales talents, the product managers, the product developers, to ensure that the product succeeds, not just being visible for people, not just people seeing it and creating awareness, but also ensuring that the end goal of the business is achieved, which is to make money. Every goal of the business is to make money, right? So are you following me? Please, you're following me. Let me know. Give me an emoji. Let me say it. I hope you're following. Are you with me? Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Okay. So that is basically what it is. As a product marketer, you are crafting all of this. So it's way beyond digital marketing. It's way beyond content marketing. It's way beyond posting on social media. It's basically you thinking through every single process to ensure that the business goals are achieved. And business goals might be, for example, they give you a target of ensure that you get 100,000 subscribers within the first 6 months of the launch. That could be the business objective. But basically, what they are now expecting you to do now is to break down that 100,000 app installs into different categories. For example, if your app is now the app is a subscription-based platform, but as a free have free entry, free onboarding. But once they enter, for them to use the platform, they need to subscribe. So you would now craft your, so out of that 100,000 people, how many subscribers, how many subscriptions would you get? So you could say that, oh, out of the 100,000 subscribers, you want at least 40% subscribed users. So that is where a product marketer thinks. It's where I just want to take away, when you're thinking about product marketing, just remove your mind from digital marketing. It is not, it's not digital marketing. It's not, it's digital marketing is part of it. It's part of it. Because when you enroll to the bootcamp, you definitely learn digital marketing, learn key aspects of digital marketing so that you would apply to your product marketing role, right? Because after all, there's channel strategy. You have to determine the platform to be used. You have to determine how you want to go into the content marketing, the approach, what kind of advertisement you want to run, the campaigns that you need to go out, and all of those in the SEO part, the attribution and analytical part. They are all part of go to a product marketer's job. So, but if you've had the notion that product marketing is digital marketing, please take it off your mind. It's not it. It's not it at all. It's not it. It's way beyond that. It's way beyond that. Right? So just like what a lot of people think that digital marketing is marketing, like general marketing. That is why you see people call themselves, they are marketing strategists, but they are digital marketing strategists. So under marketing, there's a lot of subsets, and that is where digital marketing falls under. So there are people who call themselves content strategists, but they are not digital marketers. So there is a lot of subsets under marketing that people don't generalize as the whole thing. Product marketing is very comprehensive, but a very, very fulfilling role. I say when I'm talking about it, I'm smiling and I'm letting you know that it's a very, very appealing and refreshing and very, very fulfilling role, right? So now these are some of the tools. There are a lot of other tools that you can leverage that you would most likely be using as a product marketer, right? But these are one of the tools that you should get familiar with. Just get familiar with them. I know you know a few of them. Probably you know the Google Analytics, you know, let's say SEM Rush, and you know SurveyMonkey. You might have heard maybe Statista and then Google Trends, right, as well. There are a lot of it, a lot. But these are just the basic ones that you most likely use maybe on a daily basis and would also help you craft your perfect go-to-market strategy. Now, for Statista, Statista helps you to get insights. For example, I want to look at what's the total number of female in Nigeria. That let's say in 2022, between 2022 and 2024, or in 2023, we haven't ended 2024, but I think they should have till, let's say, early 2024 as well. So Statista will provide you that insights. Now you already have like a subset. Okay, now you don't now ask, okay, so in 2022 or 2023, how many? I mean, maybe an example of, let me use flow, still the period tracker and evolution tracker. Let's look at, okay, how many percentage of female are still in their are still in their are still in the age where they can still menstruate and ovulate. Statista will give you those data. It will still give you the data. How much percentage of people that are in their menopause in Nigeria? It will give you the data. You can research it now. www.statista.com. Visit the site and type something, search for something. It will provide you all of those data. So for example, if I'm developing a go-to-market strategy for a period tracker, I already have my market size. For example, if the number of female in Nigeria is 2 million, but in that 2 million, Statista tells me that only 100,000 female are still menstruating. That is my target size. Market size is 100,000. That is my target audience size. But the market size, the full general market size is 2 million. But where is my target audience? Is that, so on that 100,000. So another thing that if you're marketing, that would even help you craft the right, even your budget. So what do you need to be able to get this certain 100,000 people? What amount would even help you? What strategy can you employ to get this certain number of people? And to also help you in even setting your KPIs. So for example, if Statista tells you that Nigeria only have 100,000 people, and then the stakeholders is telling you to look for 1 million applicants, you'll be wondering, where would you have the remaining 900,000 people? So you have data to be able to tell you that, please, the remaining 900 people would not fly from heaven, right? So it's that based on data, Nigeria only have 100,000 females that are menstruating, unless you want us to just, to just download the apps, and you now have a lot of app installs, but you're not be having, your data will not be accurate, because you now seem like your churn rate is really high and your retention rate is really low and all of those things. So it will not allow you to have accurate data when you start falsifying data by allowing just people downloading the apps here and there without actually use, because you wouldn't be able to understand, track the progress and the success of your product. A lot of people do that, but please don't do that. Be a good product marketer. Okay. So, and then Google Trends also help you to understand industry trends. What is currently happening in this industry, this healthcare industry? What are people doing? What are the products that even exist in this industry? What are they doing? How are people interacting? What are people looking for? And then there is a particular part of product marketing that you should never, ever forsake. Please, that is where it comes to customer research. Know your customer. Mentioned, the what, how, and who. What, where, and who. Once you're able to understand that, every time it comes to it. So never skip customer research, user research. Never skip it. It should be number one of everything before you start researching anything. Ensure that your customer research is intact. And how can you perform your customer research? You can throw it. I know Statista. I know we always want to rely on AI. I know ChatGPT too. Probably we're going to put ChatGPT here and some other AI too. I will not put it, but it's good too. But I will not put it there, please. So, customer research too. You can leverage all of these tools. Like for example, because I know I want to, like, Statista will provide you with a couple of data, right? A lot of data, but sometimes it's good to speak to these people yourself. Hear them out. Because the data that is in Statista, someone put it there, right? And they do some other research, and a lot of board people came on together and then, contributed all of those things. And then they found that data. But imagine now getting feedbacks from someone. I remember one of the products that we were working on, They want to determine the pricing strategy for that particular product. And then one of the first things that I did when I joined the organization was to come up with a survey. And the survey helped us understand that these people would not pay the amounts that we wanted them to pay. They can only pay this amount. They can only pay 5,000. They can only pay 10,000 naira. So that is one thing that researching can help you do. And it also helps to validate the products. Because a lot of edict that product marketers have these days, it's not because the product marketer does not know what to do, right? It's most likely because the product in itself is not directly meeting the needs or communicating directly to the users. And that is where user testing comes in as well. User testing is a platform that allows you to get feedbacks about your products, how people are react, how people experience your product. You get feedbacks and you get reviews of your product, and then you're able to, iterate and go back and you're able to, talk to the developer. Okay, this is what people are saying. Can we do this? Can we do that? Can we? And you're able to come up with your plan. Talk to the stakeholders. I think what if we reduce this price? What if we enter the market with this price? And even if the product is 50,000 naira and the users are telling you we can pay 5,000 naira, you can. And if that particular 5,000 naira is something that the company or because no matter what, you have to always have the company in mind as well, because they need money to pay you too, right? And be able to pay for some of the tools that we are using. So if that 5,000 naira is something that the company can do for now, you can create a strategy, a discount strategy where you are entering the market with 5,000 naira, but probably for a time, maybe 3 months or 2 months or 1 week or 5 months, or depending on your preference, the business preference. And then afterwards, after your launch, you already gotten everybody to enter the market. Now they have used the product, they are enjoying it, enjoying everything, pressing at the button, just like how we were enjoying Google Meet before we're now compelled to pay to subscribe for it, right? So now they're enjoying it. So when you eventually increase your price, though some people might leave, but the major thing is that the people that would stay are your major audience. So sometimes when you enter the market in a very, very subsidized way, or with some strategy, it might attract the crowd. And then when you now eventually, decide to streamline your product to cut, you see the people will drop off. But it is that it's not an alarm, right? It's something to be afraid of, because it's normal. It's normal. So it's basically whenever but that basically makes you understand that these are the real set of people that your product is for. And then you cannot dedicate your time and attention to ensuring that this set of people that are now subscribing to use your product enjoy the product, and then they know how to use the product effectively. And then there is Google Analytics as well. I know you know Google Analytics. It allows you to understand, see customer insights. For example, if you have a website or you have some wait lists, and you can always install Google Analytics way to track that. And then there is the attribution tools and some analytical tools like Mixpanel, AppsFlyer, Hotjar. Hotjar is strictly for web. AppsFlyer does mobile and web. Mixpanel also does mobile and web. So these tools helps you to understand the customer behavior, customer journey. You are seeing inside the app in itself. Google Analytics by giving some, the things that they moved on and where they went to, the behavior. But attribution is able to attribute all of your marketing strategies. For example, if you're running an ad and you have Mixpanel or AppsFlyer installed on your mobile app, and you're running a campaign on Google, right? And you're running an ad on Insta, on link on Facebook. When people from that ad goes to your mobile app, Mixpanel is able to record their journey, where they came from, as well as what they did, where did they drop off, and you're able to get a feel of why they dropped off. And this the thing that you are also able to even remarket to these people. So even if, for example, if they signed up, if they downloaded the app, but they didn't finish their onboarding, you are able to market to them again and get them, because you understand their journey. You'll be able to track all of these processes, and then you're able to remarket and convert them. And as it also helps you with user engagement as well, where you can be able to engage them within the application as well. And then competitive analysis. There is a part where you say know your competitors. You need to know your competitors, right? You don't enter an industry blindly. There's a lot of product marketers that exist before you, and some will come after you. And some have done the things that you want to do. And there are products that also exist. For example, I said Mixpanel and AppsFlyer. Mixpanel does same thing as AppsFlyer, but I personally prefer AppsFlyer. But there are people who have a preference for Mixpanel. So basically, does that mean that Mixpanel is bad? No, it's more just my preference. Maybe because they have one of my favorite color, green, on it as well. So I don't know, but or probably because I have a friend who also collaborates with them and works with them. I don't know, but I just know that I love AppsFlyer more than Mixpanel for some reasons. And I've never used Hotjar, so I don't think, I'm not sure, but I never really have I've never really have an interest with Hotjar, but I know how it works. But I've not really ever had an interest because Appfla can do both mobile and web. So why would I want to go to Hotjar? This is not a marketing for AppsFlyer, please. So then there's competitive analysis, right? So there's similar web. Similar web will help you understand a lot of things. I stumbled on similar web. That should be 3 or 4 years ago while I was working during my product management journey, right? Yeah, one was building a particular real estate management system. I was looking at what products are in the market, what is their traffic, right? For example, if you go to SimilarWeb, www.similarweb.com, if you go there and you type Jumia and you type Konga, it will tell you the daily visits, the traffic of Jumia in comparing, and also traffic of Konga. You're able to compare both platforms and see how they are doing. And that way gives an idea of what you need to do to take over the market. Because if, for example, if you launch an e-commerce site and Jumia is doing about 1 million daily visits and Konga is doing about 2 million daily visits, and you're just looking at maybe 1,000 daily visits, how do you want to dominate? I know, yeah, it takes time. They must have built traction. But that's where your strategy needs to be a continuous process. You have to continuously review your strategy and upgrade it as you move. So SimilarWeb helps you to understand all of those things. You're able to understand where your customers, where your competitors are right now. So you know what you need to do. So you don't enter blindly, right? So, and then SEM Rush as well. There is also Moz Pro. There is a lot of it. A lot of other platforms, a lot of other tools, right? SEM Rush also help you to understand, do competitive analysis as well. You also even understand what particular keywords. For example, now you want to do SEO. You understand what particular keywords are your competitors ranking on, and understand what's their search engine optimization like. What are they doing? You always understand the kind of what you need to do exactly. Same thing for Spyfula. So just like his name is spy, we're spying, really spying on your competitors, right? Looking at what they are doing and how you can, leverage that, or how you can enter the market right. Because sometimes it's good to look at what is currently working in the industry and look at how you can make it better, rather than just building blindly. So that is why the part of competitive analysis is very, very important. You look at your competitors and look at what they are doing, how you can make it better. I'm not saying you should look at your competitors and do exactly what your competitors are doing, because there is always something that every organization are different. There is always something that someone is avoiding to do. It could be because of their budgets, or because of their product, or because of their current state. Some people, I know there was a product I was also working that we didn't go into full market because the products were still in the development stage. But people were using the app, but we didn't want a large number of people. So if you now, someone who has that budget, you're not looking at, okay, since this person is not going all out, let's also not go all out. You would end up shooting yourself on the foot. So you have to look at what your competitors are not doing, analyze the market, and look at how can you do better, how can you innovate and make it better. How can you do what they are not doing, or what is it that you're not doing that you can do that can help you achieve your own results? So I don't know if you're following me, please give me an emoji. Let me know if you're following me. Let me see those stickers and those emojis. Let me know if you're following me. Are you with me? Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So thank you. I can say it now. Thank you. So I'm moving on to a very, very engaging part, and I want someone to be able to tell me about this. So I want to take it. We're going to do two case studies, right? We're going to do for Apple products and another brand, very popular brand as well. So when you see, you must have seen, like I said, we've all seen go-to-market strategies, right? So when you see when Apple is trying to launch a product, what do they do? If what are those strategies that they adopt? You must have seen it before. So I want someone to just unmute their mic and tell me when they want to launch a product, what do they do? What do they do?
Um, they usually have a webinar.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Another person, there's someone else I want to share as well.
I don't know, but I often see the videos when they're about to launch probably a new phone. They will do a specific video that will list how the new product is, the new features that are different from the old product. So I think that's what I see often.
Exactly. Good. Awesome. Awesome. Can someone else share again? We've all seen Apple launches. I'm sure some of you use Apple phone here, probably the latest iPhone. So please, what do they do when they want to launch a new product? You've seen it. You've seen it. I need one more person to share. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead. So your Chidoze and the Moyo, you're both correct. Apple, they are, when they want to launch their products, they have a standard approach to their go-to-market. So go-to-market is not just for mobile apps. That's why I'm using Apple this time. They're also gadgets as well. The mobile phones, technological gadgets that they can also drive go-to-market for as well. So now when Apple is launching, you would always see series of events, different events, webinars, and IG lives, and all of those things. And you would also see influencers and creators creating all sorts of things. You would see them collaborating with a lot of creators. I know when they were launching, I think this is iPhone 14 or something, this is iPhone 13. I saw a lot of even Nigerian influencers doing review. This is what it is. This is what it is. And then you see a lot of creators creating appealing videos. They will release the quick version of the video of the phone to a set of people where they can use to create content and all of those things. And then you see social media buzz everywhere. They are very, very good at it. Everywhere you go to, there is someone talking about a new iPhone that is coming up. There's someone writing about a new iPhone, one creator, one influencer talking about an Apple iPhone that is coming up, or an Apple iPod, or their watch, or something like that. And there's also newsletters. If you subscribe to newsletters, you will see a lot of it. There's also PR. You will see press releases as well, telling you that it's going to launch on this particular day. Get ready. You've seen anticipation. You've seen countdowns and all of it. That is Apple's standard go-to-market. I've not seen something different, but that is, they often do that. And on the day of the launch, you will see they will host an event. There's always an event on the day of the launch. So that is their standard GTM. But not every brand does events. So some people might just stick to, let's say for example, just do countdown on social media and just launch. And just launch it and say, everybody go and download it. We don't have money to do any event. Please download the app, right? Some people just do it. Some people launch it with IG Live. So this is Apple standard GTM. So now the next platform is Facebook. Facebook had a unique launch strategy when they launched in 2004. 2004? I think it should be 2004, yeah. So like I mentioned before, there are different approach to GTM. You have to just look at your target audience, also look at the business side as well. Can the business afford this elaborate GTM? But other people will come up with influencers, marketing, use this person, use a Kim Kardashian and pay millions of dollars. Let's use Rihanna. But can the company afford it? So you have to also be realistic with your go-to-market plans. So I have to specifically talk about Facebook's product launch so that you can also have different perspective about product launch and how you can craft a strategy. So Facebook launch they rolled out a strategy and they started with targeting a specific audience, just small group of people. And then they now expanded into marketing to a broader group of people. So when they launched exclusively for Harvard University students, which was in 2024, February. They did that. They just launched it. And they don't also, because the thing is that it's very, very strategic, because when it comes to product launch as well, you have to ensure that you build testimonial, right? Get customer feedbacks. And that I'm sure that particular strategy update they launched to that small group of people. Those small group of people must have provided feedbacks, and they will now use that feedbacks to build, to upgrade and improve on their products. And then those people would have told a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend as well. And then that particular product, it made people feel like, the product was a bit exclusive and all of those things. And it raised a lot of curiosity among people. Because for me, even I'm curious, why did they do that? Well, I'm not sure Mark had a lot of money at the time when he initially launched the products, right? And then after they were done with Harvard, and then they moved again, expanded to Ivy League universities. And then they eventually moved to some other colleges and some other universities across different United States and across different countries. And then before you know it, now Facebook is now a global platform for everybody. But it started from a small subset, a small group of people in Harvard school, in Harvard University, right? It started there with students. They launched it there. Students were able to communicate and interact. You can communicate with your classmates even without you being in school. You can interact with them without being in school. So that was a unique strategy that they developed. For example, if I want to launch a female product now, I could say, okay, let me launch it with a female empowerment community. Let me start with this community first. Let's do it exclusive for this community. And then they use the product, they provide testimonials, and then they provide feedback. We improve on the product. Let's say we make it exclusive to 1 or 2 communities for about a period of 6 months or 3 months. And then while they are using it, we are building and advancing and improving on the product. And then while they are using it, and then I expand again. Okay, let's increase it to, maybe 20 communities. And then before you know it, because from that community, the 20 communities also know other people. Before you know, they're telling themselves referral is coming, people are using your product. And then that's how, before you know, you are building, you are getting into the market with minimal costs, but you are gaining significant traction and achieving the business goals. So this is the case study. This is the last part of this session, and I hope that you've learned a lot on this particular piece on the GTM strategy. So before I go, I just want to leave you all with tips, like and tips for beginners, since you're beginners. So number 1, explore your interest. Right now you are here, so which is good. That means that you're exploring your interest in product marketing. Another one is going to set clear goals within the next 1 year, within the next 6 months, within the next 3 years or 4 years. Where do you see yourself? What do you want to be doing? And if you see yourself, let's say in the next 2 years or the next 1 year, the next 6 months, launching a product and becoming an excellent product marketer means that you need to start investing in education now. You need to start investing in education and learning skills, building your skills, and also seek mentorship and guidance. And the good thing about the Academia Good Bootcamp is that, just like what the intro video said, that we not only invest in building your skills, right? We also empower you with mentors, and we also empower you with communities that are able to help you grow. And that part of the Academia Bootcamp also provides you with mentorship opportunities, where you have people that would mentor you and guide you through your process, through your career journey. And also, all through the classes, all of our mentors have been talking about building a professional network. It is very, very important to build a network. There is LinkedIn is a good community platform to leverage on. Connect with people who are doing the things that you want to be doing. Engage with them, ask them questions, even within the academia community. So if you join the boot camp, you'll be added into an exclusive community for your cohort. Engage with your classmates, engage with them, communicate, bounce off ideas, brainstorm together. Because the person that you think, oh, is just a classmate today, might eventually become the president of Nigeria tomorrow, or eventually become a tech founder tomorrow. Because not everybody, like for me now, I started marketing. From marketing, I entered product management. Product management, I entered product marketing. So that's the journey for me. So the fact that I started product marketing now today doesn't mean that, oh, I may not pick up another interest tomorrow and become a tech founder. And then eventually I may now look at, oh, I have a friend when I was doing academia bootcamp that really knows product market. I would like her to come work for me or work with me. Because see, sometimes your network is your powerhouse. Honestly, your network is a powerhouse. So wherever you find yourself, always network. Sell yourself. We are marketers. Market yourself. Market yourself. And marketing yourself could be by you engaging in classes like this. Like now, I know Moyo spoke. Her name is stuck in my memory right now. Moyo. So if I'm looking out for someone in the next session, I'm looking out for Moyo because she engaged. So her name now is stuck in my memory, right? So, and then when I see a name or probably on LinkedIn, I'm like, oh, this is the Moyo that engaged. And I want to, okay, let's connect. Or probably if she send me connection request, I would want to accept because her name seems familiar and I think she engaged and all of those things. So build your network because you never can tell. You never can tell. There are a lot of opportunities that I've gotten from networks, from people that I know, people that we've learned together. Even some of the work that I'm doing right now, there are people who I have met in some gatherings, right? Professional gatherings where we learned together a couple of years back. We learned together like 10, 12 years ago, and now we are co-founding things together. So imagine that I didn't collab, I didn't engage or network with that person. How would they have remembered me to learn something, co-found something with them, and then gain experience through internships and projects. Volunteer, develop a communication skills as a product marketer. You need to learn to communicate, build your soft skills. Also, stay flexible and be open-minded because the industry keeps changing. That is where your research should be your powerhouse. Always research, leverage data in everything. Don't just rely on this is what I've been doing that has been working. What you have been has been working might not work because you might have a strategy for an health tech platform, but that strategy might not work for a fintech platform. You have to be open-minded and research. And there is something that Israel said at one of our product marketing masterclass. Is it Israel? No, I think it was Samuel Assisi. He mentioned that you should never be afraid. You should never be afraid to show your work because it is through criticism that you learn and that you grow. Put out your work in public, right? Tell people what you're doing. Seek for feedbacks. Even for your colleagues, ask them, what do you think about this idea? What do you think about this strategy? You can even make the product manager your best friend. Hello, product manager, this is before you put it to the CEO or the stakeholders, you can make the product manager your best friend and and share the strategy with the person. What do you think about this strategy? Do you think it will fly? What do you think? Do you have opinion? Do you have thoughts about it? Learn and brainstorm and then learn from your failure. Even if you create a go-to-market strategy today and it doesn't work as it should be, learn from it. It's a learning process. No person, as Rome was not built in a day. No product marketer today would say that they have never failed before. Everyone had failed one way or the other. So you will learn from failure, and we don't fail and then get and say, no, I'm not doing product marketing again. No. Failure does not define you, right? It doesn't define who you are. You have to learn from the failure, learn from the mistakes that you make. So when you push out a strategy and it didn't work, take a step back, assess the strategy, and then go back to the drawing board and reevaluate and re-strategize. Don't be so arrogant and so proud that you would not want to say, oh, let's stop this, let's pause. Please pause when you see that the strategy is going AWOL. Pause, because if you don't pause and that particular money has been spent and it didn't yield result, the stakeholders would blame you and they will start dragging you and they will say that you did not meet your KPIs, right? So please don't be so arrogant and so proud that you would not admit when there is a mistake, or when not even mistake, when some, because it might not even be a mistake, it might be that you, this is what will usually works, but it just stopped working. When you realize that, pause and reassess, analyze and re-strategize. Go back to the drawing board. It's not a bad thing. We all have done it one way or the, and it's also, everything is an iterative, it's taking an iterating process. We always revamp and re-strategize and um um reevaluate every single strategies that we develop. So with these few points of mine, I hope I've been able to convince you and not confuse you that product marketing is a rewarding is a rewarding career path, and I look forward to having you all on board. I look forward to having you as my fellow product marketers doing amazing things in the tech industry and in other industry of your choice. I wish you all the best, and then I would like to take questions now if there is any. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this amazing session. It's been super impressed. I mean, super insightful. I, I was reading some messages in the chat, and let me see. Emmanuel said the session has been very insightful. So I want to believe that everyone else on the call, you found today's session very insightful. So if you have any questions, you can please ask. If you prefer to type, you can type. If you prefer to to unmute your mic so you can ask a question, you can please go ahead. All right, Moyo, please go ahead.
Okay, so thank you so much for the class and all. But I wanted to ask that in the go-to-market strategy, under which section does like maybe for example now the company cannot afford influencer marketing, but they can afford at least to spend some money on ads. So like under which section would that be? Then aside spending money on social media ads and influencing and social media influencers, are there other marketing strategy? For example, traditional marketing, if I want to include maybe billboards and all, like how do I put that in the go-to-market strategy?
Basically, what I mentioned before, that there are, let me go back to that slide so that you can see it. So your strategy falls under how. So you have who your target audience is, what your product is, why you want to sell to them, where they are, and then how you want to sell to them. And that is where your marketing is. So like I said before, product marketing is not digital marketing, but digital marketing is going to be a part of your strategy. And then there's going to be offline, which is traditional marketing as well, part of your strategy. You can put it on newspaper, not just the online one, paper newspaper, right? So then you can even do billboards and do TV ads, and you can do some other ads on what you've seen when what's the name of this app? There's this app that I often see. Is it Glovo? I think Glovo is Glovo and Jumia. You see when they are posting their billboards now, when you put the pole flags, when you go on the road, Third Mainland Bridge or along the, you see their pole flags. So those are not digital marketing, but they're not social media marketing. Those are offline strategies. So it means that all of those things are embedded into your go-to-market. So they are all part of your marketing strategy. The marketing strategy, you look at how can you get them. Leverage digital marketing, leverage traditional marketing. And also there are other strategies. Like I mentioned, how Facebook entered the market and how Slack entered the market, the strategies. Slack leveraged communities, right? They leveraged community. They partnered and collaborated with a lot of communities. So your strategy could also be a part of partnerships. You could look at, okay, who can we partner with? What organization or what community or what NGO? Like I mentioned, I talk about Flow. Like if I'm launching a Flow app on Nigeria, I could say, okay, yes, I want to just launch to a subset of partner with female empowerment communities or female NGOs and all of that. And then I partner with them, and then I use them as a user. And I partner with them. We come up with a plan to, let's say, for example, a sensation plan, which is probably a program where we get to talk to their female and then tell them about what the product is all about, and then they get to install the app, and then probably we can give them a discount when they install the app or when they use the app. We could say that, okay, we are offering exclusive discounts to the female members of this community, the female members of economy or a network. We could say that we are launching, giving the discount. So that is also part of your launch plan or your go-to-market strategy. So you're leveraging this community. You're offering them a discount, or you're offering them a referral incentives so that they can onboard on your platform. So your strategy could cut across all of those strategies, cut across events marketing, creating webinars, doing online. Sometimes you see Twitter spaces. I think as at 2023 and 2022, there were a lot of tech companies that were leveraging Twitter spaces and audio events to basically drive visibility and awareness for their brands, for their products. And then before you know, all of a sudden, you just said their product have launched, right? But they were using that to create visibility for their product. Because when you visit their page to join that, you will see their, oh, it's Global. And then oh, what's Global doing? And then they start talking, doing their Twitter space. They create a little bit of opportunity for them to talk about their product. So you could create those series of events leading to your launch day. Your launch day, you can choose to use an event or just do social media buzz or just do press release and all of it. But there are a lot of, your go-to-market is not your launch plan, but your launch plan is in your go-to-market. Your launch plan is on that day of the event. How do you want to launch it? Your go-to-market comes up with, drives every single thing that you want to do leading to that particular day where you would now say, we are live, go and download the app. I don't know if that provides clarity to the questions you asked, to the question you asked.
Thank you so much. You did actually. Thank you.
Awesome. Great. So do you have any other question?
Okay. Any other person with any other question? Okay. I want to believe that we do not have any other question. That's why we're not saying, or I'm not seeing anybody's hands, or let me check if there's any message. Okay, no. All right. Thank you so much for today's session, Ms. Comfort. It's been super great to have you speak with everyone today regarding um, product marketing, go-to-market strategy, and then sharing practical experiences and practical insights. It's been great listening to you. I, just as everyone in the comments already shared, I'm very sure that we all learned a lot today. And then also just to add a little bit, when we talked about the fact that some people would meet their co-founders and etc. in class, and that's very valid because I was teaching a class yesterday, and whilst I was teaching the class, um, in the middle of the class, somebody asked the question that, oh, do we have any company doing something like this? And I said, well, there are, but not so elaborate. And right in the class, the person that asked the question said, oh, I was actually asking because I think I want to start a company that could do something like this. And then whilst the person was saying that, then the other, I mean, three other members of the class started asking, "Oh, I think we would like to work with you and would like to partner with you." And before you know it, there were four people that were looking to co-found a company right in class. So, just as she mentioned, you definitely connect with everybody. I mean, connect with people some way, somehow, and you never can tell where you can find your co-founder. So, thank you so much for today's session. Um, if you are looking to sign up for the bootcamp, please ensure that you reach out on the community on WhatsApp, and somebody will pick it up from there to help you register and get onboarded. Just as I mentioned before, The class starts next week Friday, and it goes for 8 weeks. And you have the opportunity to pay in 3 installments. The program goes for just 50,000 naira, and you can actually pay in 3 installments. So if you're looking to start your product marketing career, please send a message on the group chat, and somebody will respond to you. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining today's session. It's been great and amazing. Have a great evening ahead. Bye for now.